Hello everyone and welcome back to thejovan.com tier list thingamajig. I'm back doing another non-monkey related video, this time covering a video game franchise that's near and dear to my heart. We're talking about The Legend of Zelda. Okay, so now something like this, there are several different tier lists for. So the one that I chose is pretty straightforward. It doesn't add like other media to it, like the weird television web series thing. I don't even know what it was that came about, and I haven't seen it. I don't want to see it.
Oh boy, smooching time.
This one is strictly the mainline video games for the console and also for the portable devices, whatever their specific names are, but the pocket devices, right? Okay, so straight off the bat, you have the first game, The Legend of Zelda. This one, I've played the beginning of, but I haven't played it all the way through, so I think in all honesty, I have to put it in have not played yet. I think that's the honorable thing to do in this scenario. So the second one, Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, very strange, very Hollywood movie sounding sequel name to this game franchise. I don't want to play it. I haven't played a bit of it, nothing. So this one I feel less of an honoring kinship to, of being like, oh, I should be nice to it. Nah, that one honestly I think I'd put in bad, but I'm going to put it in not played. So now we have The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. I feel like for people a little bit older than me, this was their first Legend of Zelda game that they played. However, myself, I did not. I've seen plenty of speed runs of these games, but I have not personally played them. So we're starting off pretty rough here, but what can I say? It was born in 1993, you know? Okay, so the next one here, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. I didn't play the original, but I bought the Switch remake of it, and I loved it. I mean, love is a strong word, but I enjoyed it. I think it was good. Link's Awakening gets a good on the tier list. Moving on, we get to the thing that made The Legend of Zelda this universal, worldwide, iconic name that it is today, where you have random people on the street saying, no, I haven't played it, but yeah, I heard of that Zelda guy. It's The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. The greatest! Granted, art is subjective. There are several people that will say Majora's Mask is the best, or the first is the best, or some of the newer ones are the best, but for me, this is extremely easy. The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time is utterly fantastic. And I said this in a previous video I made, but I used to call it when I was a kid Ocarina of Time for whatever reason. Just, one of those things, right? Kids aren't the best with grammar, especially with strange musical instruments they've never heard before. Now, following that, you have its direct sequel, Majora's Mask, using basically the same game engine, but in this new world, right? Termina instead of Hyrule. Majora's Mask to me is like if I had to choose between the two, Ocarina of Time, but for the sake of this, I'm allowed to say that I got two favorites. I'm going to put Majora's Mask also in fantastic, because it just is. I mean, for people who play this game, it's amazing. The story's way darker, it's more somber, you have more of a personal connection with the people of that world. It's terrific for what it is. Okay, so now we get into a lot of the portable device games that straight up I just haven't played. I had a Game Boy Pocket when I was a kid, but I played Donkey Kong Country, tried to play the Pokemon games, couldn't get into it unfortunately. So my grasp of that kind of world is extremely limited. So, The Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages both go in have not played, unfortunately. This is looking pretty rough as far as one of my favorite video game franchises. There's so many games I haven't played, but honestly, all it takes is one game for it to become like your favorite thing ever, right? Okay, so moving on from that, we have The Legend of Zelda: Four Swords, also on portable. I have not played. And then you have the next console game following Majora's Mask, and that is The Legend of Zelda: Wind Waker. This one, for a lot of people it's really divisive because of the art style choice that they chose. I was a kid when this came out, and even I was like, how could they? Like, the legacy of The Legend of Zelda being super realistic with Ocarina of Time graphics, but I warmed myself into it. I loved the story of this game. The mechanics were also super tight, and I warmed up to the style. I'm gonna put Wind Waker in great. It was carried by its amazing story. That, for me, solidified this as a great game. Okay, so now we have The Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Adventures. I think this was on the GameCube, because I believe I played a little bit of it, but not enough to have a proper opinion on it. So it goes in the not played. Next, you have Minish Cap, another one that I have not played. But again, I've seen speedruns for and stuff, so I'm familiar with the game style and kind of the story, not really. Okay, so here we go. 2006, you have the next mainline console story, whatever, of The Legend of Zelda, the continuation, kind of, even though this one's like a complete reimagining, right? With Wind Waker, it seemed almost like it's the super future of the main story of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, but with Twilight Princess, there's really not much holding it together. Super, super loose. That kind of disappointed me when I was a kid, because as you can see, the games that I have not played, I didn't realize that The Legend of Zelda was non-linear storyline of events going on, that these are several links. So it was shocking at first. However, the art style I loved, but the story kind of felt empty. I feel like Ganondorf was not as imposing as he was in Ocarina of Time or Wind Waker. So it's almost like the exact opposite feeling that I have towards Wind Waker, where I think the story's weak, but everything else is great. So, I mean, even in saying that, there are story beats that are really amazing. It's just overall, it's not as impressive. So it goes in great. Yeah, it goes in great. That's where it's going. Okay. Next, you have The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. Again, another one that I have not played. I'm really stacking up that not played down there. I did not think it would be this much. Spirit Tracks, same thing. Skyward Sword. Yeah, I understand it's going to upset a lot of people. And also, I've watched the story, like cutscenes online on YouTube, and I'm not impressed. I feel like this was a favorite for a lot of people, but I cannot give it to him. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I haven't played, but I feel like it's also bad or average. Okay, oh, this is rough. I'm, sweating a little bit here. Link Between Worlds, that's another portable game I've not played. Triforce Heroes, I don't even know what this is. Oh my gosh, this is rough. Okay, and so now here we are. We're at the final game, Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild, its story sucks, but its game is amazing. It might honestly be enough to put it at fantastic, because I put more hours, I feel like, into Breath of the Wild than any of the other games. Still, I don't know. The story's so bad, I don't think I can put it in fantastic. It's a fantastic game, but the story beat is an important part of it, at least to me. So it goes in great. And that's it. That's the list. Oh my god, just looking at that's rough. What are you gonna do, huh? What are you gonna shoot me? I'm a console player. You can't say I'm not a real fan or I don't love this franchise just because I've only played the semi-recent to recent console games. But this is my list. Take it or leave it. What are you gonna do with it, right? Anyway, so that was kind of a short one, but there you go. That is my take on the Legend of Zelda game franchise. This is my tier list. This is my opinion. But with that, I now pass the question off to you guys. What do you guys think? Was that like the worst take ever? How do you feel about The Legend of Zelda? Do you guys have any kind of personal connection? And I gotta imagine most people that have seen this disagree with my take on it. So please, by all means, vocalize yourselves. Have yourselves be heard. What is your take on The Legend of Zelda? And how limited are your reach for these different games, right? Have you only played one or two? Have you played all of them? Or are you like me where you've only played, a third of them? With that, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for being here. And until next time, sleep well, my primates. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.